Happy Wednesday, guys. Thank you so much for being here with me on my Wednesday lunch lives. Thank you so much for taking time out of your lunch break. You're probably eating, I hope you're eating something good. If you don't know me, I'm Melissa, Lending with Melissa, powered by Edge Home Finance. So, if you're watching me live, say hello in the comments. And if you're catching the replay later, reply. So I know you stopped by here. I'm going to open my chats just in case. Let's see. So today I want to do something different. I want Wednesday lunch lives to become the place where you ask mortgage questions you may be embarrassed to ask anywhere else. There is no silly mortgage question here. If you don't know what APR is, ask me. If you don't understand closing costs, ask me. If you don't know what underwriting is, ask me. Hey, Rudy, Diz, thank y'all for joining me. If you're wondering why a lender asks for bank statements, ask me. That's what I'm here for. Today, I want to start with one of the biggest questions I hear from new buyers. Melissa, what actually happens after I decide I want to buy a home? So let's talk through the process from application all the way to getting the keys to your new home today. The first step is not always finding a house. A lot of people start with Zillow or they call a realtor. And I understand why. Looking at houses is exciting. But before you fall in love with a house, I want you to understand your numbers. That starts with a conversation. What are your goals? What kind of monthly payment fits you comfortable? How much do you have saved? What does your income look like? What debts do you have? What's your timeline? This is where I learn about you, not just your numbers. I learn about your life, your goals, and your concerns because I don't want to help you buy the biggest house you qualify for. I want to help you buy the right house for your life. So, if you're just hopping on, welcome. Today, we're walking through the home buying process from application all the way to getting your keys. And if you have mortgage questions while I'm talking, put them in the comments. There's no silly questions here. Once we once we've had the first conversation, you're ready to move forward. And your next step is the mortgage application. This is where I start collecting the information I need to understand your financial picture, your income, your employment, your debts, your assets, your housing history. And yes, sometimes people get nervous at this stage. And I want to stop here because this part is really important. Please be open with me. If there's something you're concerned about, tell me. Maybe it's something that's on your credit. Maybe it's another debt. Maybe there's been a change in your employment. Maybe there's something about your income or finances that you think could be a problem. Please try not to hide it. This is one of those times when more information helps me, helps you, because if it's something that could affect your loan, there's a good chance it's going to come out somewhere during the mortgage process anyway. And I'd much rather know about it at the beginning so we can talk through it, figure it out, whether it's actually a problem or determine what we need to do about it. Sometimes the thing you're afraid to tell me may not even be as big of an issue as you think. Remember, I'm on your team. My job is not to judge you. My job is to understand the full picture and figure out what options may fit your situation. Sometimes the answer is you're ready. Sometimes the answer is we need to work on one or two things first. Either way, now you know. And knowing is always better than guessing, right? So this is the part that surprises a lot of buyers. After the application, we need documents. We need pay stubs, W-2s, bank statements, tax returns if you're self-employed. And let me stop here for my self-employed people for just a second. If you're self-employed and you're thinking, Melissa, my tax returns don't really show what my business actually brings in, don't automatically assume that means you can't qualify. There are loan programs called bank statement loans that may allow qualifying self-employed borrowers use eligible deposits from their bank statements to help them determine qualifying income rather than relying solely on your traditional tax return income. They're not the right fit for everyone, and they require different stuff from a traditional mortgage, but this is exactly why I don't want you deciding on your own that you can't qualify. Talk to me. Let me look at your situation and see what options may be available for you. And actually, I think we're going to make a bank statement loan for self-employment employed buyers one of my upcoming Wednesday lunch live topics because I get a lot of questions about this. Okay, back to our document list. Identification, maybe additional documents depending on your situation. And people often ask, why do you need all of this, right? Because a mortgage is a large financial commitment. The lender needs to document your ability to repay the loan and verify the information used to approve it. And something I want you to hear is this: if I ask you for something, I should be able to explain why we need it, right? You should never feel like you're just sending random documents into a black hole. Ask questions. I want you to understand the process. And actually, I have buyers I'm working with right now that I absolutely love working with because they ask all the questions. When I ask them for a certain document, they don't just send it to me. They're wondering, send it over and wonder why I need it. They ask me, Melissa, what is this for? Why do you need this? And I absolutely love it. Hey, Ben, thank you for joining. Because I don't ever want you to feel like you can't ask me why. If I'm asking you for a bank statement, ask me why. If I'm asking for an employment document, ask me why. If you see something on a disclosure that doesn't make sense to you, ask me. If you're making one of the biggest financial decisions of your life, you deserve to understand what's happening along the way. And sometimes your questions gives me the opportunity to explain something that you didn't even know you needed to know, right? So please don't ever feel like you're bothering me by asking questions. I actually want you to ask them. Remember what I said at the beginning of today's live? There is no silly mortgage question here. Okay, so we've completed the application, we've gathered the documents. What happens next? Once we reviewed the information and your file is in a good place, we can determine what your buying power looks like. But here's something I want buyers to understand: what you qualify for and what you should spend are not always the same thing. Maybe you qualify for more than you actually want to spend, and that's okay. Your comfortable monthly payment matters, your lifestyle matters, your goals matter, and a pre-approval should give you direction, not pressure. Now, this is usually the fun part. Now you can work with your realtor and start looking at homes that fit your plan. And because we did the work up front, you're shopping with confidence. You know the general price range, you understand your payment, you know what your cash to close could look like. Now we're not guessing, you have a plan. If you're just joining me, we're walking through what happens from applications to getting the keys to your home. We've talked about the first conversation, the application, documents, pre approval, and now shopping for the home. If you ever had questions about any of those steps, put it in the comments. I would love to answer them. Okay, now let's say you find the house, you make an offer, the seller accepts. This is where the mortgage process gets more detailed. Your realtor sends over the contract. We review the loan structure again. We update the numbers. The loan then moves into processing and underwriting. Oh, I said that word, underwriting. Underwriting is one of those words that can make buyers nervous. Sometimes people hear your file is going to underwriting and immediately think, oh no, now they're going to start looking for a reason to deny my loan. That is not what underwriting is about. The underwriter isn't sitting there trying to find a reason to decline your application. Their job is to review the information in your file and make sure the loan meets the guidelines for the program that we're using. They're looking at things like your income, employment, assets, credit, debts, and the property to make sure everything is documented and meets the requirements. And sometimes the underwriter is going to ask for something else. Not sometimes, they usually do. You might hear me say, we have a condition. Don't panic. A condition doesn't automatically mean there's a problem with your loan. It simply means the underwriter needs another document and or an updated document or clarification about something before they complete their review. That's also why I talked earlier about being completely upfront with me from the beginning. The more we know up front, the better we can prepare your file. And remember, I'm on your team. Even the underwriter is on your team. If the underwriter is asking for something and you don't understand why, ask me. We will talk through it. I don't want you sitting at home worrying or thinking, does this mean I'm not getting the house? Let me explain what's happening. Underwriting isn't about finding a reason to say no. It's about making sure we have what we need to get the yes. I'm going to repeat that again. Underwriting isn't about finding a reason to say no. It's about making sure we have what we need to get the yes. Guys, thank y'all so much for joining in. During this time, we're also working on the property side. So while the file is in underwriting, we're working behind the scenes for the property side. The appraisal helps determine the value of the home. Title work helps to make sure ownership can be transferred properly. Insurance is also part of the process. And if you need help shopping for homeowners insurance, I can help connect you with professionals to compare options so you're not doing everything alone. As we get closer to closing, you'll receive what's called a closing disclosure. This is where we review the final loan term, payments, closing costs, and cash to close. And this is another area where buyers ask a lot of questions. What's the difference between closing cost and cash to close? What does APR mean? Why did the numbers change? Those are exactly the kinds of questions I want you to ask me. I don't expect you to understand the mortgage document just because it was sent to you. My job is to walk through it with you. Then we're getting to the exciting part, closing day. You sign the final documents. Funds are sent. The title completes the closing process. And once everything is finished, you get the keys to that beautiful home. That's when all the paperwork, the questions, the documents, and phone calls finally come together. Let me ask you something. Which part of the process sounds the most confusing to you? Is it the application? Is it credit? Is it underwriting, closing cost, APR, the appraisal, title? Put it in the comments for me. And if you're watching the replay later, ask your questions there too. I would love to answer them. I may use your questions as a topic for future Wednesday lunch lives. And if you're watching this and thinking, okay, Melissa, I'm ready to find out where I stand, I have two ways you can start. If you want to talk first, schedule a 30-minute guided clarity call with me. I'll put my link in the comments. If you're ready, if you already know you're ready and to begin the mortgage process, complete my secure application. I will put that also in the comments for you. And if you're watching on Facebook or YouTube, I'll have both those links in the comments. They're also in the description. If you're watching me on TikTok, I know you can't click those links on my bio yet. So just send me a message. Tell me whether you want a clarity conversation or if you want the application link, and I will get it to you. Don't let not having the link stop you from taking the first step. And remember, if you're not ready for either one of those yet, that's okay too. Keep joining me, keep asking me questions. That's exactly why I'm here and I'm doing these lives. And when you're ready, I'll be here. Guys, I want to thank you so much for spending part of your lunch break with me today. And I want you to remember this. You're not supposed to know everything about mortgages. That's my job. Your job is to ask questions after questions. My job is to answer, explain in plain English, and help you make the decision that makes you feel good about it. If you're not already following me, I'd love for you to stay connected. I'm going to put my Facebook, my YouTube link, my TikTok link in the comments as well. I am live every Wednesday at 11:30 for lunch, live Wednesday, and every Sunday at 8:30 a.m. And remember, there is no silly mortgage question here. Ask questions, get clarity. Let's build a plan for you. Again, I'm Melissa, Lending with Melissa, powered by Edge Home Finance. Have a wonderful Wednesday, and I'll see you Sunday morning. I'll hang out a little bit in here just in case y'all have questions. I'm here to answer. Thank you so much for being here again. Turn on a little bit of music for us. Thank y'all for joining, guys. Let me know if you have any mortgage questions. I'm here. All right, guys. I will see y'all Sunday morning at 8:30 a.m. Come join me and bring your mortgage questions. Talk to y'all soon.